Hello, and welcome to the fourth of four sessions of Misspent Youth. Misspent Youth is a game by Robert Bowl. It's a very cool game that I enjoyed so much that I went from PDF upgrade to physical copy, which for a lot of gamers is not that big a deal. Like it's like, this and this. For me, I have literally like one half of a shelf of RPGs because I try to keep it tight. I only buy the physical copy that I have to lug around for the rest of my life if I know I'm going to get to the table, and I've had a pretty good time with Misspent Youth. This is the fourth and last session. We've had a little bit of scheduling where some people had to drop out, but three staunch, stalwart players have been here for almost all the sessions. And we're going to bring things to a close. This has been part of Star Wars Saturdays, which is my ongoing anthology series of RPGs, tabletop RPGs, that I host on Saturdays for The Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is a tabletop game community that is very near and dear to my heart, and they have a convention. So this is September, it's the very end of September 2018, and next month, as of this recording, we are having our second annual convention. It's an online convention, which means you don't have to fly anywhere unless you really want to, but honestly, just get a computer. And there are hundreds, literal more than 100 of games that are on offer over the weekend. So if you think that's interesting, Google Gauntlet RPG at gauntlet-rpg.com, and the Gauntlet Con 2018 information is there for you to peruse. It is open for normally it's within the Slack or not the Patreon backers, the people who default get in because that's kind of paying admission, as it were. But it is now going to be open to the public. So if there's something that interests you, to have a game like an indie story game, OSR kind of game run, no Pathfinder that I'm aware of. I looked, I didn't see any, sorry. But lots of other games on offer, and quite a few of them still have open spots available. There will be pickup gaming going throughout. It's a very fun time. Now that's my commercial. Now let's go on to Misspent Youth. As I said, this is our fourth session of four, so a lot has happened, and we ended the last session a couple weeks ago. And due to time, we tried to wrap up as much as we could, but we really didn't officially go through the last steps because there are progression of scenes within each episode of a Misspent Youth game. So I'm going to quickly drop us back to effectively session 2. That was the second full session that we got to. Let me pull this over to, did that work? Or am I out? Yeah, that's what I thought. Hold on, let me represent. See, if you do a tab and then you move that tab off, then you're dumb like me, and it doesn't work. By the way, that was a super interesting boarding school that would be a great setting for Monster Hearts. I'm not sending my son to boarding school because he's 12, and that's also in England. So if you happen to watch this, son, don't get nervous. Okay, so we had officially gotten through Who Wins and decided we were not going to have scenes. If you guys recall, the last full session that we had, you guys were part of the circus, which was one of our systems of control. The circus, you could perform for the Imperials and get off planet. Our Twi'Leks, all of you were forced to perform for the circus under the auspices of Silavolia. And you actually were able to unseat her with Gita Distombe by sucking up and empowering her. So she kind of she unseated Silavolia and took over the circus by the end of our episode. And so the thing that I wanted to primarily work through is talking about aftermath. That's the main point that I want to make sure you guys got the fruits of your your efforts. So do you wish to create or convert an exploit or system of control? So do you want to create or convert an exploit or create or convert a system of control? And if that's not clear, we can step through it a little bit more gradually. Just to remind people, you have an exploit, so you could create a new exploit if you wanted, or you could convert one of the systems of control. It might make sense to effectively convert the system of control of the circus that you guys have the influence of the new circus recruiter. but I want to put that in your hands.
I think we should convert the circus.
Do we narratively need to describe what that circus is? I mean, could it be this is a funnel to get people off world?
Ooh, that's very interesting. I think that works for me. Do Paul? What do you think?
Sort of an underground railroad, but with juggling.
I like it. Okay, cool. So then we'll just go ahead and we will say that the circus. Wow, that is a giganto font. Let me be lazy. I'll just say, wow, that is giganto. Let me do that again. All right, thank you all so much. In fact, now that we just go ahead and I want to put that joke that Paul made. All right, there we go. Now we have it with juggling. Thank you. So that will clear off our second full episode. And now we will move on to episode 3. I have already created a scenes sheet, and I put in a temp episode. Sorry, this is episode 1, episode 3 scenes framework. I always like framing the scene 5, and based off the rotation to make sure everybody gets a turn. That kind of means I need to do scene 1 unless we want to do a weird not everybody taking turns thing or something. So, but then I always like giving you guys the control to kind of frame things up. That's where I'm at. Any thoughts on this? You guys okay with me kicking it off, Paul?
I'm cool with you kicking it off, Rich.
Awesome. Let's get started then. So quickly, if you guys could, let's work through our questions. Each of you guys will need to create a friendship question. And the way we will do it is, so I think we've always gone the person up, which means that, but then I've kind of juggled the order. Have you, so Stephen, have you? Yeah, you have. Okay, let's go the other way around. So we're going to look down. Diodora, you'll create a question for Jean-Vray. Jean-Vray, you create a question for Herodora. Herodora, you create a question for Diodora. Cool? Oh, we lost Noella, but she's back. Yay. Thank you, Noella. We had 2 of you for a moment. I was excited, but I'll deal with just one.
The Wi-Fi was going in and out a little bit. Sorry.
No problem.
I have a question up for Dee Dee. When we were younger, how did you save my life?
Oh, that's a good one.
I have a question for Herodura. What's it like to have parents that love you and then reject that love?
Wow.
She's not bitter. What are you talking about? My question for Sean Ray is, how have you seen me break down?
Nice.
Especially considering I sold out to violence last time.
You did. Your eloquent speaking and debate skills sold out. Now your MO is violence.
Hey, it's hard. It's hard out here.
It is. And a reminder, disorder is the last thing you can sell out. There was a bit where I was confused and you guys had to correct me, so thank you for that.
I'm not even sure what I would sell PTSD out to.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It's already fucked up enough already.
Kind of, yeah. That's pretty messed up. So how would you mess it up more? I don't even know.
I'm sure we could come up with something.
Extreme PTSD. Poor Dee.
All right. I'm going to hide a couple of sheets just to make things easier for me. And we we start off with what's up? The first scene of the game. In this, we would observe the clique, the world, and their friendships and see what changes in that world. And to set the scene, we need to figure out what authority figure or friendship question we would address and what's in the first 5 seconds of the scene. I am going to involve... I'm going to involve you guys. I'm sorry. You had so many cool questions. I'm going to steal one of those. And I'm going to start off with the question for Herodura from John Ray.
Of course you are.
Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Awesome. So we have the friendship question from Jean Frey. What is it like to have parents that love you and then reject that love? Now, I'll just give you a little bit of, like, not quite the 5 seconds. I'm cheating, but maybe to help you frame the question. The 3 of you are coming up to a very large wall that has recently been erected. And on the side that you're on, there are small huts. There's refuse that's kind of blowing through the streets. This is obviously the slums, and you are approaching a couple of stormtroopers are posted at a door in the wall, and you can hear the music, and it is not Twi'Lek style music. This is above ground. This is an opulent palace that has recently been erected here by Governor Blackmore himself. If you guys remember, Governor Karth Blackmore, the main authority of Ryloth. And so you guys are there, and you've got some packs of drugs because you're currently, you have been basically Elor Vuktu, the Duros spice dealer, has given you guys a cover to head in, and you're making a delivery of some spice.
Just cinnamon lime, so it's all cool.
Okay.
You know.
Right. Cinnamon spice. It's pumpkin spice, guys. Let's get with the spice.
So I'm to answer this question just flat out, right? This doesn't actually happen in fiction. I just answer it ahead of time.
Yeah, that's the way we've been doing it, and I actually want to talk to Robert at some point and see if I'm doing it right or wrong. But that's what we're doing. It seems to make it quicker and easier for us to get to the meat of it.
So my answer is, first off, if you think that's how this went, then you don't know me at all. because what you think is love is just a constant string of demands. And that's what I reject.
Nice. Ouch. So there, I guess the answer is there is no love there.
The answer is, yeah, is Criff you.
That's a Star Wars expletive, guys. You can find that on the tab for names and species. I should probably, retitle it to say names, species, and cuss words. Thank you.
It should get its own tab.
Cuss words, its own tab. Yes.
Next time, all future
fair.
Star Wars Saturdays games.
Good feedback. Writing it down now. Cuss tab. All right. So I've actually effectively kind of first 5 seconds, you guys heading through stormtroopers. You flash your ID bracelets. We get to see Dee Dee's, red Death Star bracelet again as each of those gets scanned, and the three of you are headed in. And there's this huge mansion kind of floating slightly above the ground, just enough to prove that it's a floating mansion. There are stormtroopers. There's an ATST that's kind of moving through, and there are a lot of Twi'leks here, but all of the Twi'leks are obviously subservient poses. They're dressed scantily. This is a place where the Empire is just kind of showing their might. And Vuk2 has told the three of you to make a delivery to none other than the house of the Dura. Not to Dinek Dura, of course, because he knows that that would, of course, end up in him getting in a bit of trouble. Although one of the systems of control is rampant spice addiction, so. But nevertheless, you are supposed to go to your own home.
Well, that's super pleasant and fun. So I will take us to the back entrance. I'm assuming that the Dura household has enough status that they have at least a cook or something like that.
He's a major domo. I mean, he's as opulent as you wish. I mean, he's still a slave.
So yeah, I will go to the servants' entrance and attempt to pass this through the cook or whichever subservient answers the door.
I have a question.
Yes.
What about Grandma? Is she there? What happened to Grandma?
Oh, that's a great question. So I think Grandma was off in her own space because remember, she actually lived underground.
She lived with me.
Yeah, that's right. She lived with you, and then she was arrested. But I think you guys successfully negotiated for her to not get completely beat down. I think it'd be wonderful if Grandma were here. Yeah, you guys have done such a good job there. In fact, you guys head through the kitchen area and you see, whereas maybe the last time that you were here, Herodura, the kitchen area had a lot more like a clay oven and things that weren't super high tech. And now there are more amenities here. There are, there's actually an auto chef. And when you came in expecting the cook, there's no actual cook here anymore. She's been let go, moved out to perform other duties. And you hear inside this home, as you're kind of cut off from the Imperial music on the outside, there's a quieter music that's being played over some kind of hollow. And sure enough, there is your grandmother, Dee Dee. Of course, big long conversation with her could be problematic, but there she is. She's like, we'll say there's the kitchen area and there's like a dining room area, and then some kind of like sun room, and she's there enjoying the baking sun because she's a hard ass Twi'lek. That's how they do. What do we see on Hera's face as he's returned to his home that he ran away from?
It's a look of not disgust, but disdain, right? This is not where he wants to be. If he wanted to be here, he would be here. And just there's nothing here that gives him joy or life. So it's just kind of like, I just want to get this over with.
Cool. What is the thing that you're most concerned about here, about coming here, Herodora? Is it being caught by your father, or is it being seen returning home by someone else?
I'm just here to do a job. So this is literally, it's whatever, it's being caught in general.
Okay.
Distributing outside the officially sanctioned channels.
Yeah. Yeah. Distributing spice here would be big no-no because this is under Imperial control. But Didi, you hear your grandmother, which of course would be Hera's grandmother as well. So the two of you hear your grandmother humming along with the music. You recognize her reedy voice. She's weathered with age, of course. What do you do?
I think I start to move towards the sunroom where she is. Does Hera do anything to stop me?
I'll let you know if I do.
Okay.
What about Genre?
I think Genre is the one carrying the spice to deliver.
Makes sense. She's a sneaky one.
Yeah, and she's kind of sneaking around looking for her contact, and she sees the interest in the other two in going into the sunroom, but I think that's too public for Genre, and doesn't know that's not where we're supposed to meet them. So she's going to try to make the transfer as needed. Unless one of them says, we need to visit grandmother, or makes it obvious what's going on in the sunroom. Yep.
I'm gonna just call out to her, to Grandma. I mean.
Nice. Okay. So then, as you are moving on, your contact for the delivery is Alima Amersu. And Alima is a new member of the household. So Herodora, you have not dealt with them. Not before you left. You can know them if you so wish, but yeah. So when you call out to your grandmother, you hear the rattle of a chain, and she responds, "Didi?" And when you step into the sunroom, you see that her leg is currently shackled, and there's a chain links that are actually running to a particular loop that's kind of in the concrete itself. This was not here before, Herodora. The chain linking.
I think I run over to her and say, "Grandma, what did they do to you?"
Your uncle, and then she will look up. I assume, Hera, you are following, or you're not there? It's okay if you're not. I just want to make sure.
I guess I would have followed.
Your uncle said that it was the only way to keep me out of the spice mines. That this would go away soon. He's my own son. I trust him. Why are you here? I thought that you were safe.
No one is safe on this planet, Grandma. There must be some way to get you out of here. Twi'Lek Dora, he's not one of us anymore.
One of us. He's my son. Of course he's...
Look what he's done to you. put you in chains.
She looks up. She says, I see the twin suns from here. I have food. She seems a little addled.
Do we have anything that could cut this chain or no?
I don't know. I think that might be a struggle. What is your hope? To free your grandmother and get out of this Imperial controlled compound?
Yes.
I think you need to stand up then.
Against her will, to be clear.
She has said, you know.
I'm cool going along with it. I just want to make sure that we all understand.
Okay. Yeah, I am like, she's protesting, but I'm like, no, we're getting you out of here.
Okay. If you don't mind, I'm going to say that Jean Frey, whenever you called out to your grandmother, Jean Frey followed along, not to make the delivery, but to go and to along with you instead. And whenever you say we have to get you out of here, I'm going to say, do we? She might work well for our business of getting the people off planet. The Major Domo is an important area. So I'm providing an option of if you want to free her, we can have that struggle. Or if you want to try to recruit her into the Underground Railroad as a contact here to try to help people, let them know this is a funnel way to get off planet, we could have that struggle as well.
I like that.
Interesting. Okay.
I know. Well,
if you had someone who was good at like debate or persuasive speech, that might be helpful.
You can just beat her into submission now.
There you go. That's your option.
I think so. I guess we don't really have anything that could cut these chains anyway. So I just kind of put like my head on her knee, and I think I'm going to stand up and try to like convince her to help us.
Okay. Here we go. All right. Go ahead and make your first roll. What are you offering up from your conviction?
Altruism. I'm trying to say like people need help.
I think that sounds good to me. You're doing it for the purpose of everybody. Go ahead and make your first roll.
Do you want me to just use the green dice?
If you don't, I mean, unless you really wanted to grab some other dice, you might as well.
No, I'm just checking.
Yeah, no, I get you. I wasn't trying to be smart. I was a 7.
7.
Oh, that's the best. Okay, cool. You stinkers, you starting off with a 7. I will claim the 3. And so she looks at you and she says, Dee Dee, how? I'm just an old woman in chains. There's nothing. My son tells me nothing about what he's doing. She seems hesitant. She seems unsure about what she could do.
I'll stand up. I tell her, it's surprising what people don't realize is happening in front of their own face whenever people that they have ignored do things out of the norm. I can talk to you about how to get information. We don't really care about your son. We care about the people who are in this compound that would like to leave. And you can help us get them out of here.
Nice.
And I'm going to be offering sneaky.
Oh, that's a good one. All right. Good luck. You're rolling physical dice?
I am not, because it makes more sense for me to roll the ones that are...
Okie doke.
Yeah. And I re-rolled.
Oh, son of a gun! You guys! Oh, nice. You roll a 7, which you just claimed because that's what Dee Dee took. Therefore, you win the conflict, and she looks at you, Sean Frey, and then she looks to you, Hera. So, Hera, what is your expression here? This is your father.
I'm happy to have her admit that he's not the shining star that she's always pretended he was, more than anything else.
She says, if there's a way that I can help my people while I am here, then I will do that. You children should stay safe.
Sean Frey says, we feel the same way. The people are important. And turns to Dee Dee and says, after we have exhausted the people here who we trust, who want to leave, your grandmother should be the last, if she will go.
Wow. You hear the creak of movement upstairs, and quickly Alima Emersu will come downstairs. She's one of the red Twi'leks. They're rather rare, and she is your contact to deliver the spice. She looks around furtively and says, I did not know you were here.
Good. That means no one else did either. Let's go into the other room so that we can take care of business.
Yes, of course, we should. And then she'll call over. Is there anything that you needed? And Dee Dee, your grandmother, so no, I'm well. And then she'll head off to like an alcove that is out of earshot, and she will hand you some credits, ready to take the package.
This isn't the agreed upon price. There was more. Are you stiffing us?
No, I need you to wait here. I need to obtain more credits.
We're not happy, but we will see you whenever you come back here.
Very well. Please do not let Vuktu be upset. This was the amount that I was given. I am an intermediary, much like you.
Oh, we were told a different amount.
This is all that I have, but I can obtain more if you will only wait. I need to speak to the buyer.
I have a bad feeling about this. How do we know you aren't going to bring the guards back?
The guards would find you here transacting with me. I would be in as much trouble as you. She's speaking like whisperedly, like she's very nervous about this. I thought that this would be discreet.
We hope so. Be quick. And whenever she leaves, we back off to another area where we can see whenever she returns, but we can also bolt if necessary.
Nice. Okay, so a few minutes pass, you hear the low murmur of conversation. You think that you hear the brassy tones of a certain Dura, Denek Dura. And then she comes creeping back down the stairs from his study and says, here, I've obtained more credits, please.
And Jean Frey passes over the package and takes the money and says, I'm sorry for any misunderstanding, and we will see you next time. and smiles very big, and they get ready to leave.
Nice. You just skimmed off the top effectively. That was pretty clever there, Jean-Frey. You're a clever, clever girl. And that will bring this scene to an end. And so we will finish what's up there. Noella, you get to have scene.
Are we
Yes.
supposed to? It says create and record the kickoff, whatever that means.
Oh, the kickoff is that it appears Vuktu is delivering spice on the Imperial compound. That is a fair point, though. What does it mean? We'll look it up. Actually, it's so much faster to look in the PDF. It's easier to just sit down and read a book, but it is easier to access PDF for me. If I spell misspent correctly, then it'll be even easier than that. Okay, that did not do what I wanted it to, so we'll just search under kickoff. And I'll hopefully get that. That did not help. Huh. I copied this directly out of the thing. Hold on just a second here. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to jump because kickoff is not coming up as a word that's anywhere in the PDF.
Did you put a space between the words or a hyphen?
I did not. I will try that. That would be very annoying if kick and off are two different words. Nope. Okay, let me try a hyphen. Oh, none of it.
Did you spell it correctly?
I think so.
Sorry, sometimes
No,
it's just
I'm
these
not afraid of
obvious
that.
things that happen.
I'm just wondering if maybe the words aren't registering as.
Sometimes PDFs don't search correctly, so.
Yeah, I am failing. I don't want to hold up the game anymore. I'm zipping through AF, setting the scene one, what's up. Identify the kickoff for the episode and write it down on the case file. Okay, let's see. All right. So even though I'm looking at the word kickoff, it did not come up in the search. All right, let's see. The reaction of the karked-up, of the be carked with party will probably give you the kickoff. The kickoff usually flows out of what happens in a scene. For example, the bad guys found out about the software dingus the clique invented that lets anyone crack computer systems, and now they want to kill you. If the kickoff isn't happening naturally, you can make it happen. Look at the systems of control, exploits, and friendship questions, and have an authority figure aggressively cark with something the youthful offenders care about. And so, yeah, the kickoff is what gets the story rolling. So what gets the story rolling is that Vuktu is dealing spice to Tanek Dura. It appears that there's some weakness there.
Cool.
All right. Cool. All right. So let's go to scene two. Scene two, fighting back. The clique takes on the problem. The first beat is introduced, and you come up with the question. Setting the scene, which authority figure, friendship question, and what's in the first 5 seconds. So that will be to you, Noella.
I think
Sure.
I will use Herodura's friendship question to me. When we were little, how did I save Herodura's life? Or yet just younger, not necessarily little. Hmm. I think that I think when we were kind of younger teens, before I went to re-education camp, I think that Herodura had a relationship that would have caused him to be sent to re-education camp, but I prevented his parents from finding out.
So, not saving my life and also writing my history for me, I would rather that you just address the question.
Okay.
Please, if that's okay.
Yeah. So
because it's sort of a defining distinction between the two of us, I think.
Yeah.
And it's become more so after he went from bad to perverse last time.
Then we'll say we were riding bikes and you crashed on the bike. And this is also when we were younger teenagers. So you crashed on the bike, and I helped pull you out from the wreckage and get you medical treatment.
Do you think I still have a scar somewhere?
Yeah, I think you have a big scar.
Cool. I like it.
Nice conversation and good adjustment. Well, I appreciate that. Awesome. So you saved his life, and was this before the occupation?
I don't think so. I think we've been alive. Like, I don't think we were alive kind of before the occupation, or if we were, we would have been too young to remember.
Nice. Yeah. And I kind of imagined it like this is a thing where Herodura got top treatment because of the major domo, and yeah, there's a definite set of levels there. Is that cool? Where's the scar? I'll go ahead and ask Herodura. He can scar himself wherever he wants.
Well, clearly it's not on his incredible chest or abdominal muscles. So I think he's got a huge scar running along the outside of his right thigh.
Oh, that only makes him sexier, really. I mean,
yeah.
It's good stuff. And that's why he wears the pants.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't think that's the only reason he wears pants.
True. Cool. All right, so we've addressed our friendship question. What is in the first 5 seconds, Dee Dee?
So this is fighting back. I think we are at whatever our current home base is, and I think that sorry, what's the drug dealer's name?
Oh, it's Vuktu, Elor Vuktu.
Elor Vuktu. Maybe he doesn't come in right away, but I think he's found out that we've been skimming from him.
Nice. Okay, cool. So yeah, within the first 5 seconds, you guys are hanging out. How do you imagine the place you're at? Are you guys in some kind of hovel? Or are you in some kind of lounge that Vuktu owns, like the back of a club? Before, when you met with him, I think it was with like a street doc, dealing with a little bit of a street doc. So I could see it being anywhere within the city that's nearby. What were you kind of imagining the backdrop would seem like?
I think it's definitely somewhere that he owns, but it's not necessarily like the primo spots. Yeah. So I think it's in like, I think it's like how do you say it? Like employee lounge in like the back of like a fine goods store, like handbags and jewelry.
Nice. So like there's an import-export thing that he runs on the side as a front.
Yeah.
And you see some like humans come in and out and like they're all coming from the base, right? They come from their protection. This is their excursion. They go out and they pick up these nice things, and maybe there's a little bit of something on the side there. You guys are in the back lounge, and the door opens up, and it's a Lord Vuktu, the Duros. There you go. Duty-free shop. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate it. Those words are perfect, and it just didn't come to my mind. He comes in and he says, "Oh, good. All three of you are here." Closes the door. How did the delivery go?
It went very well. We, fortunately, the Duras got to meet some of their family members that were more friendly, which is good. And we got the trade-off successfully.
Very good. I received a communication from the buyer. They were not terribly pleased because I changed my prices.
So that's right. We increased the prices for you because we felt like this client could afford more.
And he backhands you.
Great.
I will stand up.
Okay, cool. What is your hope to get from this?
My hope is to, well, A, protect my friend, but primarily to get Vuktu to back off and give us some breathing room.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So you stand up. What are you putting at risk?
I am putting at risk my outrage because I have so much of it.
You do. You're outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous.
So my action is, and then I can, since this is the first one, I can roll after I describe. Basically, I grab him by the lapels or whatever is closest to that on his clothes. And
this is original trilogy, so there's a lot of like large lapels.
Good. And I'll push him back against the wall, not hard enough to hurt his fragile egg-like head, but hard enough that he knows that I could have done it harder, and say, "You will not use force on my friends."
Nice.
And then I will roll some dice.
Yes. Oh, this is deliberately stated to make it more exciting.
7.
Dang it, guys. Stop claiming 7s. All right. With your claim of 7, I will claim a 3 and an 11. I'll take an 11 this time because the 3 worked out so well. And he looks at you with those like multifaceted red eyes that he has, that the Duros have those weird multifaceted eyes. And he says, "I gave you a very simple job, and I thought it would be easy for you to just complete it. The money is meaningless to me for what it could bring. That pipeline is far more important than your petty theft."
And I'll stand up. And Jean Frey kind of picks herself up. I think she actually has like a trail of blue blood,
yes,
coming out of the corner of her mouth. And she goes up. So I think that Herodura kind of has him propped up.
Oh, yeah,
and
totally.
Theodora is kind of small. So she climbs up on a crate that's next to him. And she leans over and whispers in his ear, "They would become suspicious if you didn't raise the price, of course. We're trying to keep the way open for you." And I'm going to use stealing things and hiding.
Okay. That
Yeah.
feels right to me.
Yeah.
All right. Roll up 11.
Reroll. 6.
6. Okay, so you're gonna claim a 6. I am gonna claim a 3. So you very clearly state, hey, you were trying to make it to remove suspicion by asking for more.
Can you broadcast the picture of the dice?
Oh yes, I'm so sorry. I did that
no,
the
that's
first
fine.
time and I didn't this time. Thank you for asking.
No problem.
There we go. So you guys have currently claimed the 6 and the 7. Things are looking good for you. And the 3 and 11 are claimed by moi, the evil authority. And so when you say, oh, well, this is to remove suspicion, he says, do you think I believe a pitiful trowk like you, some street urchin, that you would have the sense, the gall to understand business? Your little mind can't handle it. You keep half of it in your tails. Unhand me, and perhaps I will keep you around. Or do you wish to go to the spice mines to get me what I sell? He's trying to kind of push you off, Herradura, although you are far stronger than he is. Who wants to stand up?
I'll stand up.
Oh, what are you putting at risk?
I'm going to put Pretty at risk. And I think the way this is going to go down is that he's going to, oh, this hurts me so much to do this. He's going to like turn to me and be like, you know, you can pay me back, if you know what I mean. Of course, it would hurt Dee Dee so much to do this as it hurts me to make that suggestion, but she'd do it to protect Sean Frey.
Oh, gosh. Oh, no. All right, what are you going to roll?
9.
Claim a 9. All right. I am going to, I see a lot of, I've got it kind of equal. I can go anywhere I want. I'm going to go up somewhere nice and high. There we go. I'm claiming the 8. And he says, how do you think I make all the credits I do? Do you think I care for your flesh? I find you Twi'leks disgusting. You're nothing more than ornaments and underlings. My plans are far more important to me than this pettiness you are showing. You're obviously not worthy of being employees. I'm going to turn all 3 of you out and see how long you will last. Perhaps I'll report you. Now go! He's going to dismiss you. Who stands up?
I'll stand up. And I think I say, I've seen many of your employees on the street, and they don't all sell spice. Some of them sell themselves. Some of them sell others. I think that you know a good business proposition when you see it. And while your interest was to maintain the pipeline that you had, we have a deep connection to the Major Domo, and we know that he is no fool. He would realize if you were simply gaining influence.
Nice.
And I think that's more sneaky.
I think so too.
Yeah. So
all right. See what you're gonna get out of this. Good luck.
Come on. Trying to get the dice to select. There we go. 7.
Damn it. Sorry. I mean, I'm excited for you. Good job, guys. Congratulations. Damn it. Okay. So you pull all of this off. And after, Paul, I know you had to step away. So just to give you a quick thing, he threatened to turn you guys out. He basically said, I'm going to fire you because you guys can't do anything. You can't do what I tell you to do. And yes, luckily, Dee Dee didn't have to roll on her PTSD, which is probably a good thing. And he pauses. And if you're okay with it, Paul, I think at some point Hera stops kind of gripping him because,
of course,
He says, Major Domo is no fool. That is why I used you to set him up. I'm going to keep you under my employ for now. And we'll all deal with the aftermath when he is accused. Be thankful that I don't hang you out to dry, children. And with that, he's going to turn and try to walk out. But you got your hope. You didn't want John Ray to get beat down or anything. And you're still employed. And I think that will bring our scene to a close. You guys good with that? And so the beat that I have introduced in Fighting Back is discovery. You learned something significant you didn't know before that makes everything thus far look completely different. Which is that Vuktu is trying to play against the Major Domo to unseat him.
I'm okay with that.
Cool. All right, scene 3, heating up. The story tension mounts and the stakes get higher. This will be set by you, Paul. Setting the scene, which authority figure or friendship question would you like to use, and what's in the first 5 seconds?
I think it's been a while since we've heard from our friend, and by friend I mean Pile of Bantha Poodoo Ovasun.
Yay! I mean, yes, you're right. That terrible person.
And so I would like to have him show up at some point. And I think the first 5 seconds sees us walking out of the front door of the like a social club kind of, you know, with the Twi'Lek, a local thing where people sit around and have drinks, and there's probably music, but it's definitely a working class cantina kind of place.
Nice, awesome. I like it.
And
mostly Twi'Lek. Is it like a Twi'Lek?
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, and or you know what we used to just call home, and
nice point.
And the 5 seconds you see is us walking out the door, and as John Bray is probably just finishing putting a packet of money, secreting a packet of money somewhere, because we've just finished a delivery to the bartender or manager of spice.
Nice. I would give like a beat for you guys to kind of play through, and then I'll introduce a thing if that's cool with you. So you're heading out on the street. Jean-Frey, what is something that we would see as you're headed down the street after making this delivery and getting a good bit of credits? What's something we would see on the streets that tells us that this place has seen better days?
There are a lot of beggars on the street. There's a lot of homeless people, people who are like lying right up next to the buildings for the shade that they provide, and covered in rags. And you see a lot of people out there with like cups, rattling them, asking the people who are going to the bar for alms for the poor.
Nice. So what is Dee Dee's attitude right now? I'm about to sneeze. How's Dee Dee handling this? What do we see with her?
Dee Dee definitely recognizes some of her friends from re-education camp in the beggars. You're muted, I think.
I know. I was mouthing the words "ouch." I have a dog who's decided that the Amazon delivery driver is a real direct threat to our household.
Oh, yes. Um, so I think she, like, as we're walking along, you know, I'm sharing glances with them, and I think we kind of have this like shared glance of like remembering mutual trauma that we've been through, but like I have nothing to give them, they have nothing to give me, and I wish I could help them, but don't really have a way to.
That hurts.
It's like we pass them by.
So I think Jean Frey notices this. And Jean Frey will actually take some of the coins from the payment and give a couple of them enough for like a meal from the payment that we have for El2, and tell Noella it's okay. We have money stashed to replace it. It'll be fine.
Nice.
Yeah. I think I like cry a little bit, but like get myself together.
You hear the low hum of a hover vehicle coming out from behind you, and then you hear the strident voice of none other than Ovason. Out of the way! Out of the way! And you see there is a land speeder, but it is, instead of that kind of that old brown land speeder that you remember from A New Hope, like this thing is gleaming and it's kind of silver, and he's in the driver's seat. And of course, because I love rubbing salt in wounds, Daisha Bandara is in the passenger seat with him. And he's got the Imperial Youth signs emblazoned on the sides of the car like he's in some kind of parade. And he says, "Oh, I thought you were just riffraff, not Vuktu's pawns."
Jean Frey immediately, since she was just interacting with the beggars on the street, immediately sits down, pulls down the like her rags, and kind of starts rattling the cup that has a few coins in it.
Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah,
He ignores you. Like the Duras are who he wants to interact with, but you of course, per your skill set, you're able to kind of get a different viewpoint.
Is Daisha pregnant?
Yeah, I think she's starting to show. And she does not look up. Like you recognize her beautiful blue skin, but her eyes are downcast. She's trying so hard to just wish herself away from here. And you see she's gently fondling her Laku, and she's signing, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Is that did I twist the knife enough yet? Or am I a good authority? Are we good? Is it too much?
No, it's okay. It's okay.
All right, good.
It's just making me. It's just making me sad.
Okay, sweet. Sad is good, but not because X card's on the table. So I want to make sure I'm not too over the top there. All right, good. So, okay. Go Ovason. Ovason says, "Oh, the Duras. Oh, it is so good to see you, little drug rats."
I would far rather be, if that were true, I would far rather be a drug rat than be a bootlegger for the Imperial scum.
Oh man. So you say that it's like you gave him a magic word. And he leans back. You hear the seat creak a little bit. It's brand new kind of leather. Like you see, he leans back and he puts his boots up on the dashboard. And he says, "Bootlickers, huh? Oh man, that is an interesting idea." And he looks over to Daisha, but he hasn't said anything yet. And what do you do about that, Herodora? Want to stand up?
At this point, I mean, he's not blocking our path, right?
No, you can walk away.
Yeah, but I don't walk away. No, of course I don't. I would like to stand up.
Okay, what's your hope? What do you hope to accomplish here?
My hope is to take him down a peg, to break some of his sense of being safe because he's collaborating.
All right, I love it. What are you putting at risk?
I will risk. I've got to go back to my sheet.
You got outrage, rich, upper class.
I'm there.
Oh, sorry.
I will risk my MO, my upper class black sheep.
Okay.
And how I do that is by saying, just remember, Obasun, I knew you before you were able to sell out and buy your parents' debts.
Oh, God. That's so good.
And rolling some dice. 4.
All right, so you guys will claim the 4, and per the scene's sheet for 3, I will claim the 10. And with that, he says, and of course you can't see my expression, but he smiles. He practically snarls, and he says, "Daisha, be a dear. There's some speck on my boot. Could you take care of that?" And she doesn't move. She starts to sob quietly. And then he raises his hand like he's going to smack her. He stands up.
I'm going to stand up.
Okay.
As much as I wish I could just like beat him up, that's not what I'm going to do. I am going to put altruism on the line, and I am going to appeal to the fact that Obasun, before he became Imperial scum, was kind of a good person, but then he sold out.
Oh, did he used to be a misspent? He used to be a youthful offender? Oh, how good. I like that. Nice parallels. I love it. Let's see how you roll then. Don't roll a 10. Oh, you roll a 5. You're going to claim a 5. Good work. So you try to appeal. I'll claim the 7. You try to appeal to his past, and he says, "Oh, Dee Dee. Oh, you misunderstand so much. If only you had been wise enough to join the Imperial Youth, perhaps you would find some happiness." And then he backhands her. "I told you to lick my boot."
I will stand up. Okay, go for it, standby.
Okay, so I'll stand up. I lean over to the beggar next to me, and say, I pull one of the coins out of the cup, and I think this is roughly the equivalent of like a week or two's wages, and say, "This is yours if you can pull him out of the vehicle." And I put it down. I put it down on the ground.
Just so we're clear, I think that if you think it's fair, I think that amount, you know that you're definitely going to come up short when you pay off.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, cool.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to use sneaky for that.
Of putting sneaky at risk. I love it. I love it. Let's see how it goes. Yeah. Oh, dang it. I mean, good job. You know, ostensibly, Misspent Youth is about selling out when you fail. You guys never fail, so it's mostly about you guys being awesome, which is cool. That's kind of my DMO anyway. Babes, you offer this bribe to this Twi'Lek. We'll say to me it's a Twi'Lek that's had their one of their eyes put out, right? And so they kind of squint around and they clamber up over Daisha and tackle Ovison, and he starts elbowing this guy, and he just scrambles with a quick, like a cat, like a little saber cat, and pulls him out and tosses Ovison out of the land speeder onto the dirt, and then he stands up on top of the back of the land speeder, and he goes, "Yeah!" And Ovison, he like reaches into his comm link, and he starts calling for help. But he's shook, and you have taken him down a peg. And Daisha, she looks right at you, Dee Dee, and she says, "You should go. Please, just leave. Just leave where you can, Dee Dee."
Okay, I'll stand up then.
Oh no, you guys won! Like you actually
won?
won the scene. You have unseated Ovison. He is like sniveling and calling for help.
I did not realize we had won. Sorry.
It's okay. You wait. There's another die. Oh,
you rolled a 9.
Yeah.
Wait.
I don't think I won.
Oh,
I don't think we won.
I am so sorry. I must have thought you'd rolled the number that you had, and that's why I did that whole thing. And I'm wrong. So yes, let's just say that happened. The other beggar grabs him, throws him off the land speeder. I still like that moment anyway. He's calling for help. Dee Dee is begging you to just not Dee Dee. I'm sorry, you are Dee Dee. Daisha is begging you for you to go. And you said you wanted to stand up. So cool. You haven't won. What do you want to do? You're going to stand up. What with? Feel embarrassed. It's
okay.
You had claimed a number with altruism already, right?
Well, I think it was not. What was it?
It would have been 4 or 5. I think it's 5 because 4 was claimed by.
I forgot what it was. Sorry.
And I need to make a claim. So we got 9 is claimed by Jean-Vray, and I will claim 6.
So we can we can only sell out disorder last. So I'm gonna do pretty next, and I'm gonna manifest this in like getting into the Land Rover and trying to convince Daisha to come with us. Like I'm gonna like tell her I love her, and I'm like, you need to come with me. I'll take care of you.
Oh, she is. Oh my goodness! I got to see how this goes. All right, roll those dice, and I know what's going on this time.
8.
Okay. Dang it! I almost claimed 8. All right. So you claim 8. She looks at you, and her begging for her apologies, all of that she was doing through her laku and signing it, she brings them to life. I can't. I can't. Please, you know how much I want to, but if I do, Ovison will only stoke the fire brighter. He will come after you with everything. Just leave and be safe and as happy as you can. And she looks down at her swollen belly. And Ovison stands up and says, "A squadron of stormtroopers are on their way. I hope you are happy, Duras. You will all be thrown into the brig, and then we will see who licks whose boots."
I'd like to stand up.
Okay.
Nice. I think Jean-Vray steals the land speeder.
That's awesome.
So I'm going to take... I think I'm going to risk stealing things. And no, I like Thrills. Thrills has a good sellout. So I'm going to do
that. It does. Oh, awesome. All right.
Roll. Claim,
Rich, don't forget to make a claim.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much. I will take the 3.
And I'm going to re-roll. click the button, I didn't see anything change. Let me try it again. Okay, something weird is happening on my end because whenever I hover over reroll selected, something comes up. There.
Ah! Ah! 7. Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to sell out thrills, right?
Oh!
Which becomes nihilistic.
Nihilistic. Yeah.
And I think that the way this actually comes, the way that this actually occurs. So I think, so right now Dee Dee's in the vehicle along with,
I think DD climbed in, right?
yeah. So the only one who's not there is Herodura.
Yes.
So we could potentially, just zip away. If Herodura wants to dive in,
No, I think go ahead and zip away, and
okay,
he will take off on foot.
fantastic.
Um,
So I'm going to zip away in the direction of where the stormtroopers are.
Okay.
And I think that in pursuit, we crash the land speeder and we get away.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because what do you care? It's not yours.
That's right.
That is great. Good. So, yeah, you guys zip off, and a couple of stormtroopers fire. We get to hear somebody hitting a wrench on a telephone wire outside and recording it because that's awesome. And pew, 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 you guys crash the land speeder into the side of some like Imperial garrison or something, right? You wouldn't take out a nice Twi'Lek hut, right? It's just the thing that butts up at the end of the alleyway, and you take off, and Dacia is with you, right? You guys won. No, because you're terrible, Jean-Frey, with your nihilism. And that will bring it to an end with stormtroopers chasing after you guys, ducking through the alleyways. And what is Herodura's reaction to how carelessly? I mean, I imagine you guys got kind of bruised up. What else about the nihilism do you see in? And I'll kind of, Stephen, if you want to trump, what else about this action do you feel shows your nihilism by selling out?
Is this me?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I
Oh,
jumped
okay.
around. I started with Paul, and then I realized, wait, it's your thing, and you're selling out. I just give me a little bit more. Like, what about this? Other than a terrible crash that probably hurt a few of you guys, what about it is nihilistic?
So I think what you see is this terrible crash and the three of us running away. And I think that this crash was enough to kind of collapse part of the building, which is why the Imperial garrison couldn't really get to us. But you see this true look of fear of, whenever Jean-Frey first jumped in, it looked exciting and everything was great. Running away and seeing the consequences of this and hoping that, no one else is hurt enough, and maybe Herodura got away, maybe he didn't, and just this whole look, this fear, you see this all kind of cross over Jean-Frey's face, where there had been this almost naive sense of enjoyment. You see that there's suddenly maybe a little bit of darkening maturity there. There are
Nice.
consequences. Yeah.
Love it. That will bring our scene to a close. And we're at the halfway point. So I am going to go ahead, and we're at 26 after. Let's call a 7-minute break. So around 34 after the hour, we will meet back up again. That is 33 after the hour would be 7 plus 6. And now it's 27. So it's 34 again. All right. So see you guys 34 after the hour.
Well, guys, it looks like the authority's gone. We won.
Death to fascists.
Time to take over this town.
We'll show those old guys how to do it right.
Sorry about that.
Don't we unseated you from power while you were gone.
Oh, awesome. Dude, I'm done. It's good stuff. Oh, I don't know if I showed you guys my cool shirt. I love this shirt. Sons of Alderaan, rebel scum. I bought that during another Star Wars Saturday, but I thought it was appropriate here. So, all right, you guys sold out and you won your last scene. Good job. So proud of you, sellouts. Selling out. It's great. Okay, so that was heating up. Next is we won. And we won the story. Looks like everything's going to go just fine for the clique. And this will be set by you, Stephen. And so would you like an authority figure or a friendship question?
I would like Denek Dura, the authority figure.
Nice.
Dear old dad.
So great.
And in the first 5 seconds, I think what we see is the three of us are back at the circus, and we are bidding farewell to Daisha, who is leaving through our Underground Railroad contact.
That is awesome. I love that.
So I kind of want to see the goodbye exchange between Dee Dee and Daisha.
Oh, that sounds awesome. So we've got like a tramp freighter. She's juggling. She can't juggle yet. She's just juggling, keeping a nice home life and working. No, she can fry it up in a pan, bring home the bacon, and I don't know. It doesn't matter. I'm far too old. Paul gets that joke, and it's terrible. So I know, Noelle, you have no clue, and it's not something worth a clue.
I do actually know that.
What? Joke. You're far smarter than I am.
My mother enjoys that joke.
Okay. Awesome. Your mother is super cool. Okay. So yeah, we got a tramp freighter. Like Rich's brain can't remember what the name of the ship for the not Han Solo in the Shadows of the Empire like game and novel is, but I think it'd be funny if it were that guy, because that amuses me, and he's part of the overall things. We're tying into some expanded universe canon. No one cares but me. But let's just say human dude Dash Rendar and his ship. Yes, it is Star Wars Legends. Disney has said it doesn't matter until all of a sudden it does. And so he's there, but there are others that are getting on board. And Daisha is dressed in like a cloak, and kind of the cloak comes over her head a little bit, and she's remained behind. We see everybody going up onto the boarding ramp. And what do you do, Dee Dee? Come with me. You I don't care what the manifest says. You can come with.
We should. I want to help others escape too. Just like we helped you. Don't worry, we'll find each other again. And then I put a hand on her stomach and say, "This is my child now. It's not his. It's ours."
And she will move in and hold you close. And she says, "I'm counting the days until you find us. I will not forget."
Well, I think I just kiss her and then she gets onto the ship.
Nice. We have the sweeping John Williams music, right? As the Outrider takes off towards space. And you are left alone here. It's the last sounds of the ship leaving the atmosphere, and you can hear the ATST off in the far distance. And so, yeah, this looks like we have won, right? Except Dinek Dura reaches out to both of you, Herodura and Didi, on your comms. To a special channel.
I answer, "What is it, Father?"
Son, it pains me to say this, but I need you to come and visit me.
Why?
Because I am currently under house arrest.
Well, good. Why should I visit?
I know that you made a delivery. I need you to come and tell the truth. Your grandmother and your mother are suffering because of this lie.
Which lie is that?
You're well aware that I do not cross the authorities. I help them to avoid hurting our people.
I hang up.
Okay.
Wait, can I say something? Because
I mean, he reached out to both comlinks, so yeah, he ended his time.
So I was listening. And I say, you had a chance to help me once. You've had so many chances to help Herodura. And yet, you let them take me away. You let him suffer. Why should we help you?
My fate is intertwined with all of my family. You're not just helping me, you're helping yourself, you're helping your mother, Hera, you're helping your grandmother, Didi, my mother. All of us are under threat. If I am taken down, all of us will be taken down. I will find some other way to make sure my family is safe.
You're reaping the benefits of your cruelty.
And he will end the call. What do you do?
He hung up on us.
Well, it was after Heron hung up on him, so let him hang up. No,
Yes.
I hung up on you and call you back, and then I hung up on you. Okay. So the comlink call has been completed.
Oh. I think I walk over to Herodura and I say to him, what do you want to do?
Nothing. I mean, if we go, even if we wanted to go and help my father, that's just putting ourselves in the crosshairs of the same authorities that are holding him under house arrest. We can't tell the truth without implicating ourselves.
So Jean-Frey kind of steps forward and says, of course, none of this is any of my business, but I could tell that you care a great deal for your grandmother and maybe others in the house. So we shouldn't help your father He has made his decisions, and I'm not sure we can trust him. I might be able to sneak in and get out your grandmother and possibly others before the Imperials realize I'm there. And what does it matter if I get caught? I tell them everything I know, just like your father suggested. And if we don't go, Elor Vuktu just hangs us to dry for the missing money. I mean, I might as well go and just take it this way.
I'm sorry, for my sake, as Paul, out of character, what money is missing?
Oh, some of the money from the deal that we did before.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I was trying to connect it to this, but
Yeah.
now I see what you're saying.
And
John Frey used it to pay the
yeah, I
person
remember
begging.
now. I didn't understand how it related to this, but you're just saying we're screwed anyway. We might as well be screwed doing something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, you two don't have to go. I can go by myself. There's no reason for you to go down like I will. So,
Well, if you're going, then I'm going.
We won't let you
So-
go alone, John Frey.
okay, whatever.
I think that like Dee Dee is trying to have like a touching moment with her, but she's just like not getting it.
And of course, John Frey is sold out to nihilistic, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I was almost thinking it would be, you know, John Frey starts wearing like goth, you know, outfits and stuff like that. I'm like, no, that's too much.
That's good though.
Trash goth.
Hot topic in space. So yeah, let's do that. Shall we cut to it, Rich, or how do you
Yeah,
want to
let's
handle
do
it?
that.
Do we want to do that as a struggle here, or do we want to like during the scene, or do we want to call that scene and do the struggle next? What makes more sense?
Well, we haven't had a struggle.
Yeah, we
That's
need
right.
to have the struggle, and I don't. Yeah, and this is
Okay.
the we won, so we'll see how it goes. Yes, I would like for this. Your hope is to break into Janek Dura's estate or house and steal away, at the very least, to steal away Gita Dura, and possibly others. Do not forget that Rayla Dura is around as well, the mother.
Herodura, how do you feel about trying to save your mom, or do you not want to?
I could care less.
And you, Didi, I mean, is your grandmother the sole person we're going in for?
The rest are servants. I don't see how they will get tarred with the brush that is painting my father.
Ooh, nice turn of phrase. Awesome. So we've got your hope, and what it seems like you're already standing up by leading this, Jean-Bray?
Yeah. I'm gonna stand up with let's do stealing things and hiding, because I'm trying to get in to take the grandmother. Going in with at least something to break the chains. I think this is, you know.
Yeah, I'll say we stopped somewhere on the way to pick up a hydro bolt cutter.
Yeah.
Love it. Yes, you have a hydro bolt cutter. It's like a hydro spanner, but used for bolt cutting. I love it. Go ahead and get that initial roll on the board and let me share.
Okay. That's a 7.
Oh man, look at you guys claiming the 7. All right, on we 1, I have to claim crappy stuff, so I think it's like we 1 is 2 and 12, so I will take the 2. And so you sneak into the house. It is at night because that's the cool time when everybody is sneaking things on TV shows and Star Wars. So as you look around, you look in the sunroom, and you do not find. You see that in the light of out. I'm doing a bunch of hand gestures. What the hell? Sorry, I just forgot I'm not on camera. In the ambient light coming from some of the light to other houses, you look into the sunroom. You see the metal ring in the concrete, but your grandmother is not there. And after searching, you find that she is being held in a room that is literally under the stairs.
This is some Harry Potter shit, Rich.
Damn straight. I steal from the best. Damn it.
So I think Jean Ray, gets in, sees that the grandmother isn't there, goes back, punches in the code that I think Herodura told him. This is the personal code to disable the alarm, and then unlocks the door, and then starts searching and finds the grandmother. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, you find the grandmother, and you see that she is, of course, chained. So you guys need to do something about that. Who wants to stand up?
I can stand up. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. You can go. Go for it.
Oh, okay. So I was going to stand up with altruism.
All right.
And I think this is going to kind of manifest. I mean, I guess it depends whether or not I fail on this. It's more like the motivation. What does altruism sell out to?
Altruism sells out to unctuous. And unctuous is excessively or ingratiatingly flattering or oily.
Well, I guess it's like my thinking on this is like, am I doing this for her sake or my sake, right? Like, right. Am I doing this to help her or because I love her and I want her to not be there? I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be mutually exclusive, but am I doing it selfishly or selflessly?
Exactly.
Okay, I will roll.
For anyone who watches The Good Place, Tahani is unctuous.
I got 8.
All right, you claim 8. I have to claim 12 because this is the wee one. You close the hydro bolt cutters around the chain, and we'll say the Harry, you're there. You're holding on to the chain so it doesn't drop and make any noise, and your grandmother, she says, we should. What about your mother, Hera? My daughter-in-law, I understand my son is too far gone, but what about Rayla?
She attempted to refuse my request to aid a friend who had serious medical needs. And I fear that she is also taken too far in the wake of my father.
I cannot lose all of my family but you, Hera. It seems like she's pushing back. Who wants to stand up? You could leave. It could be so much easier to leave now.
I'll stand up. I'm standing up with my black sheep thing.
All right, upper class black sheep. Let's see what you got.
All right, rolling. Those dice is rolling. That's a 7.
Okay, you have rolled a 7. You guys had previously claimed the 7, which was claimed by Jean Vray with her stealing things and hiding. She set you guys up to be successful. You talk to your grandmother about leaving Reladura behind, and her eyes are so sad. Her shoulders stoop, and she says, I hope you are mistaken, my grandson. And with that, she says, no more. And the three of you steal away with your grandmother. And now all you have to do is get her out of here, right? Yeah. So your hope is fulfilled. Yes.
So I think what we do whenever Jean Frey leaves is she leaves the back door unlocked and slightly ajar, and tells the grandmother, once we get far enough away, you can place a call to your daughter-in-law and give her a chance to get out on her own. We can't
She
compromise the rest
reaches
of
and
us.
she squeezes you in a hug. It's like the most motherly hug you've had. You poor nihilistic thing, you. And she whispers, "Thank you, Jean Frey."
Don't mention it.
And there's a small, sneaky Twi'Lek smile on her face as you guys steal into the night. And
I guess I won't make that 911 call and let the security folks know that Dad let Grandma out of the closet.
I mean, you could. You still can.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to do that.
No one's taking that option away from you. They just look at you suspiciously. Awesome. You guys have yet again won another scene, but this one was called We Won, so I'm okay with it. And so now we are to scene 5. We are karked. In this scene, which I frame, the story is the clique, which is you guys, suffers an awful setback, and the second beat is introduced. And so give me just a moment. Need to.
Can I make a suggestion, or do you already have a plan?
Oh, I have an idea. I just my phone was buzzing and I needed to check, and it's nothing.
Oh,
it's an 800 junk number, so I'm not worried about it. What's your suggestion, though? I will definitely listen.
I think that Grandma should get really sick.
Ooh, okay. That is pretty dramatic. I was going with Underground Railroad being discovered. When she got things, I think I'm going to go for something more action-oriented. I do like the grandmother getting sick,
Actually,
though.
Why don't you combine both of them? So as we're trying to get the Underground Railroad, her onto the Underground Railroad, she gets hurt as it's discovered.
Nice.
It's both.
Nice.
It's
So
very complicated.
that is cool. That's cool, but I don't think it's not too complicated. There's not too many levels. It's enough for me to get, and I'm dense. So if I've got it, everybody will get it. And we kind of return to the spaceport, and it is not the Outrider. We have a different light freighter that has landed, and it's being loaded up by a few of the hammerheads, who I will look up because Rich is having is the Ithorians. Yes, good. You got it. There are a few Ithorians who are loading it onto this light freighter, and you see there's a bunch of, it's like a herd ship style, so there's a lot of plants on the inside, and there's like this heady smell of vegetation that is coming. And you guys are in, say you're in a part of the warehouse, and you're supposed to wait until the majority of the crew begs off. And your grandmother, who you've removed the chains, she still has the wrist bracelet. She is feeling very ill. You can see that she's in a cold sweat, and you guys have maybe put a blanket over her, and you're behind a bunch of cargo boxes in the first 5 seconds of this setup. And now I hand it off to you.
So I think that Jean Frey, is going to flip from shadow to shadow, moving around, trying to make sure the coast is clear, and trying to find the right time for everyone to, for us to transfer Grandma into the freighter, looking for employees to beg off and leave and stuff like that.
Cool. And that's when a squad of stormtroopers arrive in an APC. And they come marching in, and you see that there is an Imperial officer there who you recognized in some of the courts, Herodora, that he is kind of reports directly to the Governor Blackmore. And he's not an authority figure, so No, we're not giving him a name there. But he's headed towards the ship. This is the only ship that you guys have. Maybe there will be another rotation unless these guys get scared and don't want to work in the Underground Railroad if things go very badly. And yeah, what do you want to do?
So I'm going to stand up.
Hang on 1 second, Rich.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Did we get a question or authority figure for this scene?
We did not. Thank you for asking that. So let's roll back just a minute.
Sorry,
I'm going to do
sorry for that.
No. We're playing this game. I want to play this game. I appreciate that. I got so excited, and I'm going to do the DD when we were younger. How did you save my life? Question from.
We already did that.
Yeah, we've done that.
You're right. Well, let's mark that out because Rich is very slow. Jean Frey, how have you seen DD break down?
I think specifically I saw this was before the scenes that we've had with her ex-girlfriend and the beggars on the street. I saw her kind of break down as she saw people who were being taken off, through the Underground Railroad off site and through the circus. They were being taken off, and I saw her feelings of caring for those people and how much it was almost a wistfulness, but how much she cared to get as many as people as possible out. Is that okay, Noella? Yeah, okay. So that kind of feeds back into the last few scenes where, we helped with the beggars and we helped get people off site. Yeah.
Thank you for that reminder note, Noella. I'm just going to stick it in. So here we go. Nice. Poor DD. This has been rough on you. Sold out. But hey, maybe you can get your grandmother to safety. Maybe Herodura can help you. But right now, these stormtroopers go into this little light freighter. They impound it. They take these poor Ithorians who thought they were doing a bit of good and imprison them for being part of the Underground Railroad. It could very well be all over.
So I think, so I'm going to stand up.
Yes.
And so the Imperial troopers are already on board.
They arrived in an APC. Imagine we're in like a bit of a hangar. You guys are in some cargo boxes, slightly hidden. So you're in a large hangar area. They've arrived at the outside when the APC. Stormtroopers march out of the APC, and then the Imperial officer walks up, and he's approaching the Ithorians now. But if you wanted to wait and they're starting to get on the ship, that's totally cool with me. I just want to make sure you didn't. I didn't want to narrate past anything where you can take an action.
No, that's fine. So I think that. Jean Frey realizes that she's not certain that the others see the opening she does. So she's been sneaking around, looking, kind of patrolling a little bit. And I think she gets out. She sneaks up on one of the guards who's been left kind of behind where the APC is, and jumps him from behind, trying to steal his gun away or something like that.
Ooh,
I'm
nice.
going to use. Let's do stealing things and hiding for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Don't forget that when the first thing you sell out is like pretty much impossible for you to.
Yeah.
Or first thing you use, it's impossible for you to lose it, which is totally cool with me. I just wanted to.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So why don't I change what I'm risking instead to explosive temper? And what this looks like is she jumps out from the shadows and just, grabs this guy and twists his head around.
What's your hope? Your hope is to, just so I'm clear.
Yeah, my hope here is to fight these guys off long enough to get Grandma off site.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. And let's see. I rolled a 7.
Dang it. That's amazing. I will make a claim. I am claiming an 8. So you killed the first stormtrooper, and a blaster carbine falls to the Duracrete by your feet. The three of you are together, and you see that the Imperial officer is now berating this Ithorian, and he has a few of his stormtroopers heading to get on board. Who stands up?
I shall stand up. But first, I have to lean down and pick up the blaster carbine.
Awesome.
Because my intention is to shoot. Is there like a fuel depot anywhere within blaster range?
Of course there is.
I'm going to shoot a fuel tank and make a big boom sound.
Oh, that sounds like a great idea. I think you should roll dice and let's see how that goes.
Rolling dice. That's a 4.
Awesome. So you claim a 4. I am going to claim the 6. You fire it's a couple of the blaster carbines. I really should get that soundboard for my phone. That'd be totally dope. And boom, a few barrels of refined fuels go up, and it sends a few stormtroopers to the ground, and the Imperial officer starts barking orders as they're looking around, and a few stormtroopers, a couple of them who are near the APC, spotted this, and so they start firing over at you guys by the cargoes and by the cargo boxes where you have hidden your grandmother. Who wants to stand up?
I'll stand up. I am going to stand up with Pretty, and I am going to, I am basically going to pretend to be a damsel in distress to get the stormtroopers away from the ship.
Nice. Okay, cool. Go ahead and roll.
Oh, save me. 6.
A 6.
Oh no.
I have claimed the 6. It seems that you will fail unless you want to do something about that.
Oh, I would like to sell it out.
Yes.
What do I sell out to? Vane?
Pretty sells out to Vane. I probably think this song's about you. What does that look like? You win the conflict by selling out, but I want to know what it looks like to us.
So I think that I'm gonna kind of position myself kind of in the other direction from the ship and kind of yell for help. And also I've like taken off my shirt, so I only have like a very revealing undergarment on my top half. And I think I'm gonna motion Heradur to take Grandma towards to the ship while I deal with these stormtroopers. And I think I distract enough people that that there's a good chance of this being successful. And I think I kind of set my pant leg on fire or something and be like, help me. And I definitely let them feel me up while they're putting out the fire.
Ooh, there we go. That's where you look like a sellout. That's what I wanted to hear. There we go. That's gross. Oh, man.
Ugh.
I love it. Good sellout. Good job. It's just, you're learning how the world really works. Good job, Dee Dee. And the grandmother gets on board, and the Imperial officer will come over, and he checks on you and asks where you're from. He seems very attracted to you, and despite all of your best instincts, there's an aspect of this that being complimented, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't suck, even though it makes you feel terrible and dirty. And they will they'll end up escorting you away. This Imperial officer takes specific interest in you, and Dee Dee is taken away, and we'll say that you guys kind of sneak away. He finds the blaster carbine. He's able to trump up some charges because none of the stormtroopers were like, there was some minor accident with the fuel barrels. And he says, I'm sure that we can work this out, the Imperial officer says, as we bring that ugly scene to a close. And now we are to scene 6. Who wins? Find out who wins the episode, and the question is answered. Remember, the question is Vuktu dealing spice to the Dura household right under the governor's nose, and it was revealed that Vuktu was trying to frame Dinek Dura. You have successfully gotten your grandmother out because you sold out to outsellers. I love it. And so, Noella, you get to frame the scene. Do you want an authority figure, or I think we've done all the friendship questions?
I think we did all the friendship questions.
Yep. Okay. So, authority figure, who do you want?
Actually, sorry, Rich. What you just mentioned was the kickoff. We never decided what the question was for the episode.
You are absolutely right.
I'm sorry that I bring that up.
No. That was the kickoff, and we never determined the question in scene 2.
Well, I thought we did. I thought it was So what did you say the kickoff was? That the Vuktu is dealing spice to the Dura household?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was that Vuktu wanted to undermine the house.
Yes. Yeah, that's not a question. So what is the question? I mean, we need to just make sure we know.
So is the question? So it's indirect, right? Because it's not specifically about you guys, but I think that the question that the fiction I've put forth is, will Vuktu unseat the Major Domo and the Dura family taken down? Is that,
okay.
Is that good?
I like it. I just wanted to make sure I knew where the question mark was. Thank you. I appreciate your patience.
I appreciate you making sure that I'm running the game, so I don't mind these things because I, last time to play Misspent Youth together, I definitely want to apply these things. So thank you.
So I looked at the list and I was trying to see who we hadn't heard from in a while. And I think it might be interesting to see Palakwi, the re-education camp parole officer.
Oh, you
because we haven't seen her in 2 sessions, so don't say don't. She's not a nice person.
Peach-skinned Palakwi, their lovely eyes and her dark heart. Yeah, it's good. It's good you want to bring her back. Yeah. All right. So, first 5 seconds look like Noelle.
So, I want to give Sean Frey the spotlight here, if that's okay with you, Stephen.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that we got Grandma onto the ship, and after that, so we're kind of like returning to not normal, but like to a state of non-immediate crisis, and I think that we're in this lounge area in the duty-free store, and I think Dee Dee and Hera are in the lounge, and I think Chandra is maybe walking around a little bit in the duty-free store and kind of looking at stuff. And Palakwi comes in, and I think she recognizes you, Chandra, but I think also she is going to try and convince you to.
We'll go 5 seconds in. So yeah,
So let's just say that she comes in and sees you.
Okay.
Nice.
So and this is Jean Frey immediately looks for a place to hide, but there's no place to hide. She's already been seen, and she I think kind of shrugs and walks up and says, "Hi, we haven't met officially. I'm Sean Frey."
She reaches for your arm, kind of slides it down your forearm, and then turns your wrist just slightly to look at your indicator.
And she kind of pulls it back and says, "No, that's mine."
Oh, yes, it is yours. You are 14 cycles old. Is that not right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Good. Do you like boys?
Yeah, sure. Boys are fine. As long as they don't, you know, beat me up or anything.
Of course. Of course. I agree. They are all right as long as they don't hurt you.
Is there something I can help you with here?
Yes. Yes. Tell me about these diffusers here. And then she just starts just doing some general, like pretending she's a customer. But every time that she asks a question, she kind of turns it to asking questions about, do you use this? And, you seem like you haven't, like, do you, she does these like slight little bits of like, doesn't seem like you've showered lately. Are you treated well?
I'm treated much better than many of those who have to live on the street. Um, I are you offering, a place to stay or food or I know a lot of people who could use food.
Oh,
You probably
oh,
passed them on the way in.
yes, I did. Don't worry, I have a charitable donation that comes out of my stipend.
Oh, okay. Um, so, and basically I try to upsell her something that's pretty expensive.
Nice.
Yeah.
She will actually fork out some credits to purchase a few nice items for herself. Hey, Dee Dee and Herodura, the two of you notice that Palakwi is here and purchasing items. That doesn't seem odd because she's never been here.
I think I'm like, shit. And I'm just doing like I like jump behind the couch and I'm like, oh no, tell me when she's gone.
You're muted, Paul.
I will tell you when she's gone.
Cool. So as you guys are watching over the like closed circuit television, she hands you some credits, Jean-Vray, and then she holds on to your hand when you reach for it, and she says, "Darling, my understanding is that you are friends with Diodora."
You're
You are
muted.
muted, Stephen.
Thank you.
No problem.
I was a long time ago. It seems like forever ago, but there's been so many troubles here lately that um I'm not sure where she is now.
I
Did
see.
are you looking to buy something from her too?
No. No, darling, see, Lieutenant Alcyon is a member of the Imperial Garrison, and he had a very stimulating interaction with her just recently.
Okay.
In fact, he's quite taken with her, and this would be very beneficial. Where is it that I can find Diodora?
I'm not sure where she is, but if we put the word out, especially if there's money involved, we might be able to find her. So are you said it would be beneficial. Are you offering a reward to find her?
No, I'm not authorized to offer up any part of the stipend. Perhaps Alcyon will be interested in you.
Um, okay. And I say, I can look for her, but I don't think people will be very eager to help me with they're much more interested in trying to find a place to eat or sleep for the night. So you said that there's this very beneficial imperial guy who might be able to help.
She slides her hand around your shoulder and starts trying to guide you towards the exit. Come along, Jean-Frey. I'm sure that we can have a conversation with him. He will impress upon you how important it is to find
Uh,
the...
right now? Right now? You want to go right now?
Yes, I'm sure that you will be fairly ignored.
Can I stand up right now?
Sure. What's your hope?
I want to save Chandray from Palakwi.
Okay, cool. What is your hope? You want to save Jean-Frey from Palakwi? That sounds awesome. Go ahead and roll. What are you putting up? Altruism or PTSD? Or
I think I have to put up altruism.
I think you do.
Right
Well,
now.
actually, you could put up
No,
PTSD
the
because you
logical
keep
thing
sober.
would be PTSD.
Yeah, you might want to do.
Mechanically.
Sorry, what'd you say, Paul?
Mechanically, PTSD is the better choice because there's no way you'll have to sell it out on the first roll.
Okay, I'll do PTSD then.
Good call.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to throw my voice and call Sean Frey from the back, like pretending to be the store owner. I'm like, Sean Frey, I need you in the back. Come here.
Nice. It is a perfect Star Wars voice. It's good. I like it a lot. Go ahead and roll those dice. Make your first claim. Nine. All right. So you claim a 9. I am going to. This is who wins. I claim the 5 or the 9. You took the 9. I'll take the 5. And therefore, she says, "Oh, your fan's actually coming in on the mic.
Sorry.
It's okay. You're in Hawaii. It's obviously hotter. Okay, so she says, perhaps you should go and speak with your owner."
Yes, ma'am. And I say she's not very nice, and I run back towards the back.
Cool. So you run back towards the back, and everything seems fine. Like, oh, you've gotten away from Palakwi. And then in the break room, like the door opens slightly, and Palakwi is there. And she's got a couple of Imperial youths with her. Theodora, oh, how lovely that I have found you.
So I'll stand up.
Yes.
I'm going to stand up with explosive temper.
Oh, God. This terrifies me whenever you use this.
Because we've seen, I think, we see this flashback of Jean Vray seeing how much Dee Dee cares for others and how much it pains her whenever this part of her life is brought back up. And you see Jean Vray kind of double, put her hands together like this and just knock Palakwi upside the head. And what was our hope that we had said?
To be safe.
Yeah, earlier I just wanted you to be safe.
Okay. And I re-rolled a 9.
Ah, damn it. That's amazing. I never screen shared. I'm sorry. But yeah, you rolled a 9. You guys had claimed a 9. So you win the conflict. Don't even have to sell out. This is amazing. You double hammer fist her upside the head. Hera, what is it that you do as the couple of Imperial youths, fellow Twi'leks, but turncoats, come in and start trying to grab Diodora? You guys have won the conflict. I just want to kind of resolve the fiction, make sure it
I
makes
kick them. I kick them in the gonads wherever Twi'lek keep their gonads.
I imagine where we do. It sounds awesome, and they skulk off, and Palakwi is left behind. And the question of who won is on you guys. Yes,
I think Palakwi actually, is somehow visibly damaged from this hit.
Ooh,
right?
Oh, she's less beautiful.
Yeah, like maybe it breaks a cheekbone that doesn't heal right, or something like that. That just kind of is a little
That's
bit
evil.
off.
I love it. I love it. She's never going to forget what you've done.
Yeah.
And so, in the question of who wins, that means that you guys won. So the question of will Vuktu unseat the Duras from power? It sounds like you guys are angling for we've saved the grandmother. We're okay with Dinek Dura being taken down. Is that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because we have completely distanced ourselves. We have what we want from the Dura household. Yeah, I think that's fictionally right.
Okay. Just establishing that. And now we move to scene 7. Paul, Dust Settles is the name of this scene. We hardly ever get to this one. I'm so excited. A moment of reflection and setup of the next episode. There will be no next episode. So a moment of reflection and resolving whatever that you guys wish to resolve. Which authority figure do you want to have involved here?
Well, I think it makes sense since it involves the question of the episode for it to be Vuktu again.
Makes sense to me.
So that's what I'm going to go with. And the last 5, or the first 5 seconds are the three of us watching a holo cast of like a news channel talking about the opening of my father's trial.
Oh man, that is nice. Nice. Cool. So are you guys in the break room again? Are you somewhere else?
I think we're somewhere where we could have an intoxicant of some sort, a drink, perhaps.
Maybe you're back at that canteen that we saw earlier.
Yeah, sure.
Nice. You're at the cantina, mostly frequented by Twi'leks, your other people, not far from the wall that separates you from the Imperial compound. And there's a good cheer as people are watching this. Some people are interested in how salacious it is. Like this is them talking about Kardashians and Kanye fighting and all that good stuff. There are others who are like, oh, Dinek Dura, he's evil. He's such a lick spittle. He's getting his comeuppance. And there are a few people who know about you, Hera and Dee Dee, and your relationship to them, and they buy you a few drinks. Like some of them because they feel sorry for you, others because they want to get a story for you. What do we see from you guys?
Oh, I've got, we're sitting at a table, I guess, and I've got, because I only got to sell out once and it's perverse, so I'm just going to say I have a beautiful Twi'lek woman on each knee, and I am alternately fondling their, what are they called? Lektu?
Leku.
And watching the broadcast. So that's what I'm up to. I'll accept drinks when they are purchased.
If I remember, were you not making a bid on Sela during the end of?
Sela.
Sela Volya, former circus retainer who was unseated and thrown into slavery.
Oh, sure. She can be one of them.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
I like that.
Cool. I just want to reincorporate that because I thought that was a neat little stinger at the end of that session. Dee Dee, how's that sitting with you?
You mean the trial?
Yeah, the trial and also your cousin.
Well, I think I kind of have a little bit of a disapproving feeling because of just, the whole like treating women as objects thing. But I'm just be like, I'm also like watching the whole cast. I think I'm kind of like sitting off at the bar, drinking. I'm kind of really not sure how to feel because obviously I have a lot of bad feelings towards Dinek Dura, but we're not really, even though he's going on trial and it's like kind of like a personal revenge thing, it's like we're not any closer to being like free as a people because the Imperials are still in charge.
There you go. Okay. And then Sean Frey, you're not old enough to drink, but we are in a alien setting a long time ago, so maybe you are. How are you handling this bit of relaxation and celebration?
So I don't think Jean Frey really pays too much attention to the trial and isn't that interested in it, but is very interested in drinking to excess because, it's a relatively new experience and, she's trying to forget all the bad things that have happened. It's kind of a youthful coping mechanism. So I think she's a little, drunk and asking for more booze, and maybe they're refusing to serve her, but she's asking.
Yeah. I think that I am also slightly drunk, on my way to getting very drunk, and I'm attempting to like hug Sean Frey like a teddy bear, be like, my friend, my friend who is almost like a little sister, and I'm just like, oh, all emotional.
And I think that Sean Frey is kind of reaching out to try and grab your glass,
Nice. So here's what I'd like to do in our remaining time. I want to throw this by you guys. So technically in scene 7, we would have a struggle of some kind, and then set things up with exploiting setting up an exploit or converting a system of control. However, since this is our last session, are you guys interested in, let's just kind of move to a bit of epilogues? Is that okay with everybody? Because
I would rather not cheat Paul out of his turn to have a
Fair.
struggle. Why don't we have a quick struggle with Elor Vuktu, the authority figure?
Okay, that sounds fair.
And then we'll do epilogue. Real quick epilogue.
Yeah, we've got time. Yeah. We've got time. Cool. So, you guys are relaxed. You're enjoying your moment, and Elor Vuktu will come to the cantina. And of course, he's not beloved, right? Because he is a drug trader. He gets your people hooked on spice and other illicit things. And so there is a souring of moods, but he is attended by the people that help to unseat Sela Volya, who she stiffens on your lap, but says nothing. And Vuktu comes up to your table. Children, thank you for what you have done. I hope you enjoy the fruits of your labor. With Dura unseated, I will have a strong hand in the next major domo?
I think that, we have served you well enough that our debts are now paid. And our debts are now paid. And we should part ways. We don't really need to be here anymore.
Okay, so you're asking for freedom. That's your hope?
Yes.
Sounds like you're standing up.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Right. This could be interesting.
And I'll do that with sneaky.
Seems.
In saying, we both got what we needed. Of course, you don't need us anymore. Roll.
Nice. Roll it.
Yeah. 5.
A 5. And let me go ahead and share screen. All right. So you guys claim a 5, and I only claim a 2 or a 12. So I'll take that 12. He says, but child, you are such a valuable resource. And there are rumors that perhaps a major domo should be someone that is not Twi'Lek. Would you not want to serve someone like me? It will go far for you. I know what a good head you have for business. Why don't the 3 of you work for me as personal attachés?
I would like to stand up.
Okay.
So I am standing up with PTSD. And I think, I think he has sat down, and I go over and kind of sit on his leg and lean over so that like I can speak into his ear. And I think I just start describing to him in like graphic details. And I'm not going to say this here for the sake of you all, but like all these terrible things that have happened to me, and also all these violent things that I could do to him if he doesn't like let us go. But basically I'm trying to like completely horrify him and freak him out.
Okay, let's roll some dice and see how that comes out.
Six.
Claim the 6. You whisper all of this into his ear hole. He does not have an actual ear. He is weird. And he nods. There are moments when his mouth curls up and he seems uncomfortable. I'm claiming the 2. He seems uncomfortable with what you described. He says, my dear, the horrors that have been visited upon you, you should stay in my compound. I will keep you safe. The others will work for me, and you will be a pet, a safe kept pet.
I will stand up. I am risking outrage. And Herodora literally stands up, and that dumps 2 women onto the floor. I will apologize in a moment. And I punch him in the middle of his egg-shaped forehead.
Oh.
And I do not. There we go. That's an 8.
All right. You claim an 8. I will claim a 7. You punch him right in the face. He falls to the ground. A bunch of Twi'leks laugh, and he stands up, and he's wiping it, and he stands up, but it's obviously he's cowering away from you, Herodora. He's holding his head where you have punched him, and he glances over at the transition that we saw in the previous episode that now works for him, and the transition starts moving forward for you, Herodora. Who wants to stand up?
I'll stand up. I lean forward and get in his face and say loudly, "We can't be trusted by you, and we will make more trouble than we're worth if we are left in your employ. Can you not see the trouble we've already caused?" And I think I pull some of the stuff, like some of the stuff we skimmed in the past, and put it out, on the table nearby.
Nice.
Right.
Cool.
And that's going to be risking stealing things and hiding.
Yep. That
And
totally reads.
I rolled a 3.
Oh, okay. Claim a 3. I will claim a 9. His eyes grow wider, his multifaceted eyes, those red things grow wider, and he is incensed. You dare to throw this in my face in front of all of these other slaves?
I will stand up.
All right.
Sorry, what was the first number I rolled? I forgot. Oh, did you put it? Did you write down the number? I think you did. You put down 9. I think
somebody put 9.
Somebody put it. Thank you. So I only have altruism left, so I'm gonna roll.
It can't be 9. That must have been from before.
Oh, is that from before? Yeah. Well, what was?
I think it was 8.
8. Okay, sorry. I am going to roll with altruism, and I am going to try to appeal to his sense of altruism, and basically tell him, like, you could be a hero for the Twi'Lek. You could be a hero for us.
Well, let's see if that works. Okay, I still see the 3 from before.
Oh, wait, sorry. Okay, let's roll. Oh, it's an 8!
Oh, it's your number that you claimed!
Yes!
Oh, you guys win again! You win after winning. It's all the winning. He says, "You are fools. All 3 of you are fools. Want to work for me. When I become the major domo, you will rue this choice. You will. Bye, children." He calls off the transition. And then he will exit. And that will bring that scene to a close, as you guys have effectively won your freedom. You're no longer working for who knows what you're doing, but you're no longer working for Lord Vuktu. And so, Stephen, create or convert an exploit or system of control.
So I think now's a good time to go to epilogue if
Yeah, and we can work in that as well.
Yeah. So the epilogue I had in mind for Jean-Vray was quite a deal in the future. So I think she's like 18 now. And she's on the street and she's kind of dressed up, like I said before, all in black with like black paint on. And you see her kind of on a job, and she's kind of become the equalizer on planet, helping people escape, righting wrongs from the Imperials, that kind of stuff. She's on her own, but kind of become an equalizer kind of character.
Nice. Cool. I like it. I like it a lot. What is the epilogue we see for the now perverse Herodura?
He's on a I think we just actually he's like smoking. He's in a really opulent room, smoking a hookah, and sort of surrounded by beautiful people of different species.
Mm-hmm.
And but then it becomes clear that he's like not in charge here when a human walks in. And no, I don't like that. Can you go to Noella, please, and let me
Sure.
try?
Yeah, I'll give you a minute. That's no problem. Noella, do you have an idea for an epilogue for Dee Dee?
Yes. So you see Dee Dee and Daisha together with a little baby who is so cute. Maybe she fortunately this little baby just looks like Daisha, and you know, sometimes we acknowledge that she had a different sperm donor, but she's our baby together, and I think we help settle Twi'Lek who have escaped Ryloth and help them settle into new lives and homes.
Oh, that's cool. I can't wait to put that village under threat in future Star Wars games.
Yes. Oh, that would be so cool if our little baby became like an NPC or a character in another game.
It's happened. We've had characters carry over. Absolutely. NPCs become PCs, PCs being picked up along the way. So totally doable as a thing. Yeah. You good, Paul? You need a few more minutes?
I'm good.
Okay.
No, I think actually what you see is Herodura is sitting behind his father's desk in his father's house, working on some ledgers or something money related on a data pad. And then he walks out into a room which has been remodeled to have a big sunken bath, and there are a couple of beautiful women in there waiting for him, and he slides in.
Nice. Nice. Good. That will bring our four-shot of Misspent Youth to a close. I appreciate all three of you sticking it through to the end. It has been a pleasure playing this game, exploring the mechanics with you. Just as a quick, like, few sentences, I think we've already hashed out a lot of the roses and thorns from early stuff, but I do always like that feedback. So we'll start with thorns. Stephen, what thorns did you have from our session? And then if you want to kind of more broadly, anything that we haven't discussed already.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this. I love roses and thorns. It's really good. My thorn would be looking at kind of the mechanics. There was very little threat of failure because if we failed, we could sell out, and our game wasn't long enough in order to make that a real problem.
Yep.
So I would say that looking at the mechanics of this game, it looks like it's something that needs longer term play.
I would agree. However, I also think that what compounded it a little bit for us is that we had one player for first session and one player for 3 of the 4 sessions and one player for 1 of the 4 sessions, and they were all effectively taking up slots, right? They were taking up slots and opportunities for the core 3, we'll call you guys the core 3, to have opportunities to sell. Plus, y'all rolled like gangbusters, so that was another thing that made it even harder. But you're right. It's a game that I've only ever heard people kind of play it in one shots, but it feels like it's really built for either 2 to 3 players to play through a couple of episodes. Like, I don't even know how you can sell out within one episode. I don't think it's possible to completely sell out. I think it's the game either needs to be played a long, long time, or the focus needs to be on each time you sell something out, that having that emotional impact of that changes how you see that friend now. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I totally get what you're saying. I was thinking the same thing of like, there's no way we're going to sell out and we play 4 sessions. There's no way anybody's going to get to that point. We got close-ish. I think everybody had at least 2 left. No?
Two left, yes. I only sold out 1. So
Right. Cool. Thank you, Stephen. What thorns did you have, Noella?
This is sort of more general, but to the whole thing. But I wish we could have seen like more of Sean Frey in kind of like a starring role, because I feel like we learned a lot about the Duras and their conflict, and obviously with Dinek Dura being the major domo, that was kind of like it was definitely easy to explore that, but I think it would have been really interesting to kind of explore Sean Frey a little bit more and make her the protagonist like a little bit more.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is a very good piece of feedback. I feel like I'm mixed spotlights relatively well from people saying things, but I don't think that I angle enough story towards Jean Frey.
Just a comment. I didn't feel like it was left out. I mean, I didn't. I felt like I got the story I wanted from the character, and I can understand, the focus being on the family, on the Duras family, but I'm fine. Yeah, I didn't have any issues, but I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, just more like, I mean, you definitely did a lot of stuff, but like, with the Duras, we went deep into like the backstory and all these different relationships, and Sean Frey was more of like a do your own thing type person in this one.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky for me, Steven is a super duper self-starter. He generates so much story just by being. It's awesome. Paul, what thorns did you have, sir?
I didn't have any particular thorns with this session. In general, I don't know, I haven't read through the entire book, so I don't know to what extent there's player advice in there. I think in general, one of the things that would have been helpful, like at a physical table, I'm sure you've got like the episode's question written across a piece of paper somewhere, so that it's always in your face.
Yeah, I think if I put that in the character keeper, that would have been really helpful. That's a great point.
Yeah, but we're not even mostly looking at the character keeper. I mean something where literally every time you're asked to frame a scene, you're presented with that question so that you remember what the episode is about. And that I think would lead to some more unity throughout, because in both of the, I'm not really counting the first session, because we were just finding our feet. The first episode, I mean,
yeah, we
were just finding our feet. But both the circus episode and this one, we had some stuff that was fun, but didn't necessarily feed towards answering the question. And I feel like more unity in that helps. But that's really my only thing. I don't think that's a thorn for anybody in particular. I think it's because I did it too. I just don't think it's. I just think it's a thing that would be easier if that was in your face all the time.
I do think that tool would be helpful, and there's a very particular structure to Misspent Youth that is different from my normal GMing style. I like playing it like a bit of a jazz session, and somebody says, hey, let's explore this thing, and we kind of bounce around to it. And by doing that, I'm having the kind of fun I'm used to, but we're also kind of walking away from the question of the episode. And so working it back in can become more difficult. And so like my brain doesn't default to say, no, let's tie it back to that thing. And I think Misspent Youth wants me to, as the authority, to like really stay focused on this is what this episode is kind of sort of about. So even if we introduce a different authority figure a different question, then I need to keep pulling it back, and I didn't do that as well.
Hey, Rich.
Yeah.
Something you could do for the question is put it in like the banner on Google Hangouts that you can put across your screen whenever you talk. So whenever you talk, people can see the question.
That's true. Google Hangouts doesn't actually work anymore, but I could, if I had it to do over again, I could create a lower third in split cam or something like that. That's a pretty cool idea, Noel. I appreciate it. So let's circle around to roses, so I don't have to keep you guys over time. Paul, you went last for thorns, so go first for roses, please.
Roses, again, mostly general. I appreciate the chance to play this game that I've heard so much about for so long. I appreciate being able to do it in the Star Wars universe. I think that added a level of interest from a nerdery standpoint. And also, I think both Noella and Stephen are generous players. And thank you for playing with me.
Cool. Noella, what roses did you have from today's session?
I am really happy that we got to save Grandma. That just made me feel happy in a session with a lot of things that made me feel a little gross. I mean, not that was necessarily a bad thing, but you know, I had to make some decisions that was like, oh, this is a little gross. But I'm really glad we got to save Grandma, and yeah, I think this was just really fun to play. I think we had some really great characters, you know, and just great people to play with, and a great GM.
Oh, thank you very much. Cool. And Stephen, bring us home. What roses did you have?
Yeah. So I really, you know, to be honest, I really enjoyed. I hadn't never played with Paul or with Noella before. I really enjoyed playing with them. Specifically, like from this session, I really enjoyed the epilogue with Dee Dee and her girlfriend, and the parting of them. That just felt so good. It was so good to see. I really enjoyed the family interaction with Herodura, and how he, you know, was like written off his family, written off his dad, and had this feeling of that's all we can do about it. And I always appreciate your passion for Star Wars. Star Wars is awesome. So thank you so much for running this.
Oh, thank you. And I really enjoyed running the game for you all. I've already thanked you before, but let me make sure and say thank you. Thank you for holding me to the fire on making sure that we were running Misspent Youth right. Thank you for your thoughts and feedback. And I really was enriched by participating in this with all of you. So thank you all so much. Have a great afternoon.
Thanks, you too.